My name is Jay Bonds. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Now I'm in Madison, Alabama. I own Skin Attack Tattoos. I've been tattooing just about 15 years now, and it's just been an honor to be out here in Huntsville. It's just been great to me. What brought me to Hunts Vegas is the whole tattoo family. Rock, he puts on a good show. Rock is very inspiring. So him bringing me down to here, I get to meet heavy hitters, and it's a great show all the time. You meet good people, you learn new things. But that's what inspired me to come. And what I love about the show is everybody just it's like family. Everybody love each other, everybody hug each other, and it's just a different experience. So that's kind of like my favorite part about it. So it's crazy. Like, believe this or not, I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't into art. And back in Detroit, I was working at Wendy's. Somebody came through the drive-through, was like, "Hey, I do tattoos. I went to get something done. It was free. He ain't charging me. He gave me a tattoo machine. I looked at it. I'm like, I ain't know what to do with it, bro. I was gonna sell it on eBay. Like, like, what do I do with this? So I started tattooing my home. We did my leg. My mom came home from work, and I had about 30 people in the basement. She said, "What's this over here? Is this a party?" So I'm tattooing. Didn't have a passion, so but it was money in it, but I couldn't think about the money. So I just kept it going. I invested my last $500 I made from my job, and I ended up quitting my job. And I kept consistent and meeting people, seeing my work get better and better. It was like, all right, I love it. And now it's like money don't mean nothing to me no more. I just want to tattoo and do some cool work on people because they wearing that for the rest of their life. And when they see that, they know me. So that's what really made me. It was like 15 years ago. And that's when I ended up falling in love with it. Love what I do. So my tattoo style, I'm traditional, but I do it's called stipple. So it's like it's dot work with hard lines, but I don't individually dot. I got a style, not a method where I can whip it out into dots. And it was hard. It took me 3 years to learn it, but I kept going in on it to where now like I can stipple but make it like a smooth gray wash. So at a distance you think it's gray wash, but up close you see the little smooth dot work. So yeah, that's what cause I couldn't figure out my niche. I tried realism, I tried neo tradition, color, regular black and gray, but I couldn't master it, bro. Cause I never was an artist. So I finally was watching different artists, different techniques, and I took it and made it my own. So now it's like, it's complicated because, with line work, you have to show good lines because you can't hide your lines when you stipple, and me practicing it, I'm packed down with it, dude. Like, I can do pretty much anything in a stipple at this point. So that's what made me come up with that. Yeah. So my most memorable piece of work, I'm gonna be honest, was yesterday. Out of all these years, because I had the design put to the side for about a year, and I wanted to do it on my wife. So finally, I said before the show, let's go ahead and do it. I'm gonna try to enter and win me an award. Because I really always wanted to win one on my own. So Friday, we been did the tattoo 5 days ago. Went on appeared to put it in, and I won my first place trophy. So that's something I will never forget, because I never thought I could do it, but I had to motivate myself to just let me go on and do it, and I made first place. So yeah, appreciate it, man. It was an honor for that. So that'd be my best honor, like memorable piece ever. Ooh, that's a good one. So the difficult part of it, I try to just know it's a business and try to give them the best customer service ever, even if it's like it's just hard dealing with them. I try to just calm myself down, because you got to keep a business going. So I just kind of talk to them and get them to understand certain things. Also, you got to train those type of clients. You got to let them know your policies, how you work, for them to get a respect level to where they end up realizing like, okay, I see where he coming from, so they can ease up a little bit. And then as far as clients that don't really know what they want, I talk them into. I tell them this is for the rest of your life. So if you're gonna get this tattoo, you gotta take a lot of accountability on different things that can happen. Like if you go too small on something, it can splurge together. Or you might like it today but not like it tomorrow. So like if I feel like if you're indecisive on a design, you should sit back and think about it a little bit longer before you just jump into it. And a lot of my clients, they understand that now, so I don't really have too much issues with that no more. So with that, I mean, doing a lot of shows keep my inspire, me going, because like when I'm in the shop, it's different. You run the same people every day. When you step out, you meet new people, and they give you new ideas on how to do things. So I try, and then I study and watch a lot of YouTube, a lot of podcasts, and I just do a lot of studying on art to see, where can I change things up, to keep it going. And it's a lot of artists, like even Rock, he does a lot of color realism. I don't do color, but certain ways how he do it, it inspired me to take his method and put it in my style to give it a realistic look. And we almost there with it. It's still taking time, but yeah, like people like Rock and Joshua Carlton, watching his work, all that's just it's inspiring to me to keep going. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm still getting adjusted to it. I really don't. I don't know how like 100% feel about it yet. I just got to see how things still progressing in the industry. I feel like it's gonna make it easier in a way, but in a way it's messing things up as well. So it's kind of hard to say right now on that. So hopefully in the next couple of years when it really get you know more advanced, I can see where it goes from there. So that one easy. Really think about what you want. Don't make it don't make your first decision because it look cool. Think it over. Think about the placement. Think about your pain level because you don't want to get some. I done had somebody get some on their ribs and it was their first one and they start moving and wasn't a good tattoo. And then you get people that get things and the next day they want it covered up because they wish they wouldn't have did it. So I always say think about it, don't rush into it, and just know that's what you want before you settle. So that way you won't regret it later. Whew. So I'm gonna be completely honest, man. Being humble, you have to be humble. And back in the day, I thought I was dope, and seeing other people work, it was like, all right, I got to humble. So that's one thing I learned, and then good customer service. You can not have the best tattoos, but if you provide that good customer service, your clients always come back. So and I learned too not to bash a client. If you have a cancellation, don't bash them on social media because that same client gonna see it and they gonna tell 10 other people not to come and then you start losing people. And I've been there and done it. But now this year I've been transferring to just catering to my clients, good customer service, and just to have a little more understanding, which I never knew that back in the day. And I learned that from Rock as well. Yeah. But we had talked about it, and I told Rock how he supports me 100%, and he always used to tell me sponsoring it's good because when you got major companies on your sponsor, they look at that world famous and all them good suppliers, even just regular contractors, they look at that. They see who's on the flyer. So it helps out to get your face out there, and then also the community see that like, okay, well, he's supporting that show because a sponsorship help a show like to keep it going. If you don't have that support there, the show won't make it. So it just it admired me when I started doing it. I told Rock, I'm gonna be a man of my word, and I wanna, and it helps me out a lot, because it's bringing me more people. A lot of people first thing they say, "Oh, Skin Attack, where they at?" They remember that every time. And after sponsoring his show, I start sponsoring a little bit more on other shows, and it's just a good look. It helps out a lot. You know, help the business grow. So it's all love. So my name is Jay Bonds. I own Skin Attack Tattoos. I've been here in Huntsville, Alabama for 7 years now. The new location is at 1908 Slaughter Road, Madison, Alabama, 35758. It's right across the street from Texas Roadhouse. You can look me up under at Skin Attack on all social medias. Look me up, shoot me a message, and I'm here to answer all y'all questions.